and he hit me with the plate from the back, plate of food. And we started fighting. He left me bleeding, locked me in the house, gone. And they had to get somebody to jump through the window to be able to get the spare key, open the door. My father-in-law came, took me to hospital, and I miscarried. And after that miscarriage, they said I might not be able to have kids anymore.
Welcome to the Safe Space Chats podcast with Madam Speaker. My name is Perseverance Maremeni, also known as Madam Speaker, also known as the CEO of Self-Love. If you're joining for the first time, welcome to the family of healing, self-love, and motivation. And if you're returning, thank you so much for the continuous love and support that you are showing me. A big shout out to E2 Hair Studio, guys. Like, I always look like a queen. You already know by now that when you see me looking fly, it's E2 Hair Studio. And also a big shout out to Crown Lioness. My dress, guys, is definitely coming from Crown Lioness. Like, I cannot not be here and not be dressed by Crown Lioness. A big shout out to Hydro Quench, because guys, the conversations sometimes they get tricky. We need to be drinking some water, so they've been sponsoring us with the water. And a big shout out to Send Studios, our home. We appreciate you and we love you. Now, as you know that on the Safe Space Chats podcast, I never go alone. There's always somebody next to me. We have a lovely guest, and I'm going to allow our guest to introduce herself. Hi, my darling.
Hi, Madam Speaker.
How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah.
Please introduce yourself to the people. Tell us who you are and where you're coming from.
My name is Mpuseng. I'm 50 years old, living positively with HIV for the past 25 years. And I'm a life coach. I am an employee wellness specialist and an HIV/AIDS counselor. Yes, and I'm part of the Youth Matters team where we deal mostly with young people, especially those that stays off campus because they don't get services like mental health and stuff. So we do that.
So, is it just me, or is it true that for you to be able to come out and squash the stigma of HIV and everything, you really need to have done a lot of work when it comes to your mental well-being?
Yes, I did.
Ne?
I did.
Because 25 years ago.
Yes, 25 years ago, when the word HIV was equated with death, because that was the first thing that came to people. And yes, at that time, the awareness was not that much. The counseling, the education around it was just not there. So, yeah.
Okay, so how long did it take before you publicly disclosed your status?
I was in denial for almost 7 years.
Okay.
Let me be
Yeah.
frank about that. I was in denial. It was like, no, that it can't be me. No, not me. And it was only later, 2006, between 2006, 2007, I had shingles, lepanta that I'm still here anyway. So when I was in hospital in 2007 with pneumonia and full-blown AIDS, by the way, at that time, with the CD4 count of 54. It was then that when I got better, I decided, no, man, I cannot live my life. I cannot live a lie. And I'm not going to be intimidated into keeping quiet anymore. I am done with that. I cannot do this. I am coming out. And I think the first person apart my family that I told was my employer. He came to visit me in hospital, the company CEO that I'm also working full time.
Okay.
So I disclosed to them, I'm HIV positive and I'm full blown now, so I don't know anything can happen to me.
Yeah.
So be prepared. And he was like, no, what can we do to make it better? And I said I needed a laptop, and he bought me a laptop into hospital. And that's how I came out.
Is it?
And from there, I have been very open about my status. Yeah.
And how was the first 7 years like when you were still in denial?
At that time, I got married very young.
Okay.
I was like 20, 21. And I got married to my ex-husband was a taxi driver, and their family owned taxis. So the father, when we got married, he gave us one taxi and said, "Start your life," and that is how it all started.
Okay.
So, but I got married to him knowing fully well that he was a ladies' man, you know, the reputation of, he was a handsome guy. He was, yeah, he was quite a catch. So, but even when I got married to him, I knew what I was gonna deal with because there was always girls chasing me and all that. So I knew exactly. But because I was running away from a situation at home, my first sexual encounter, by the way, was with my stepfather, and I was very young to a point where I got pregnant, and the pregnancy was terminated. It's ihlazo in the family and all that. So I just felt at that time my sister was gonna go for tertiary, and I was gonna stay at home, and it was just a lot going on, and I was like, no, my grandmother is old, she can't protect me, and she didn't have the power to do that. And my mother, she was already now in the marriage with my stepfather, and they had kids, and it was like, it it was her truth and feeling that she had to stay in the marriage for the kids. She cannot get divorced for the second time and all that. So I felt that there was nobody protecting me, and who will believe this even after the pregnancy has been terminated. So I met my ex-husband, and then I decided, no, if he says he's marrying me, I'm gone. This is my way out. This is my ticket out. So we got married, we stayed. He was still going around, and I remember when I got pregnant, and I was studying and working. And this one time he came back drunk on a Sunday, and the Monday I was supposed to write my exam for public relations. I come from the Free State, by the way, originally. So I was gonna go write at Vista, and he came on a Sunday drunk, and when he got home, he started in a fight. I was about 4.5 months pregnant. He started a fight out of nowhere. You are giving me food like I'm a dog. And I said, but I told you I'm studying, I'm preparing for my exam tomorrow. And he hit me with the plate from the back, plate of food. And we started fighting. He left me bleeding, locked me in the house, gone. And they had to get somebody to jump through the window to be able to get the spare key, open the door. My father-in-law came, took me to hospital, and I miscarried. And after that miscarriage, they said I might not be able to have kids anymore. But God being God, I got pregnant. I had my son. And after my son, I had untreated STIs. And when I would say, let's go together to the doctor says, you must come, we must both get treated. And then he'll start beating me and say, oh, you say I'm making you sick and all that. And then ultimately, the untreated STIs developed into a cancer.
Sure.
I had cervical cancer. I went for chemo, but it didn't work. They had to do the hysterectomy. I did my hysterectomy, I think I was 27. And then during that time, it was also said, it was during the time also where they were saying I'm HIV positive.
Okay.
But then it was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So I was dealing with the cancer. Now, here's the person living because now I had a hysterectomy. He cannot live with another man.
Okay.
Yeah, that was most. You don't have a womb, you are not a woman. Yes.
Hey, my sister. Wait, let me get this right. So because of what you were saying you were diagnosed with what?
Cervical cancer.
Okay, and then they had to remove your womb.
Yes, due to the untreated STIs, I had cervical cancer. So when the chemo didn't work, it was too late. Yeah.
To save
So
the womb.
yes.
Okay.
So they had to remove the womb.
So after they remove the womb, then this guy says he's not gonna stay with another man.
Yeah.
That's how the relationship ended.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
This is the same person who got you sick to begin with.
Yes.
And during this time when these infections are coming and you can see this is not being treated, because I think that's one very big lesson there, to say a lot of women are staying in and the unfortunate part is that most women are loyal. We are loyal to people who are cheating on us.
Yes.
So you are sitting in a relationship with somebody who's bringing you STIs on a daily basis. The
Yes.
STIs are not getting healed, but because of the notion that begezela, as a woman you need to hold on to your marriage no matter what, then your life now becomes at risk.
Yes.
To a point where you even have to have this cancer that could also have taken your life.
Yes. You are begazelling because if I go, where do I go back to? To my grandmother. It's going to be a burden to her. I cannot. At that time, me and my mom, yes, we were talking, but the trust, the mother-daughter relationship was not there. The closest person that it was my grandmother. And for me, she's old, she was also dealing with her own health issues. So here I also will come with my own baggage. It was not fair. And my my then mother-in-law was raising my other son because they took my firstborn when he was 7 days old, as I was supposed to go back to college. So it was, a question of I needed to make a decision. Do I stay or do I go? So I stayed and he left. He left. He literally packed everything in the house. I came back from hospital and the following day he packed, took the curtains, everything. I was working at correctional services at that time. He took everything, literally took me from the bed, put me on the floor, take the bed.
Because you were still unable to even help yourself during that time.
And he left.
And that was the last you heard of him?
No. The funny part is that because my son, my firstborn, was staying with his parents, I still needed to go and see my child. Yeah. And I was left with the smaller one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you then pick up life? How does life, from that moment where you are discovering these things that this man has left you with, you're discovering the cancer, you're discovering the HIV, and then you are discharged, now you are back home, you get there, this man leaves. Where do you start from there?
The power of prayer, I believe. The prayers of our grandparents. Because if my grandmother was not there praying for me, I don't know where would I be. I went straight into depression.
Sure.
straight into depression. I was drinking like nobody's business, but you wouldn't even tell. I would be sitting here and sloshed, and you won't even see it. And then I went into even a psychiatric hospital. I was admitted for quite some time. And I came out of the psychiatric hospital. I was on antidepressants. I was calling my medication Smarties because it was all colors
Oh.
there. And mind you, I did the hysterectomy. Now they are giving me hormonal balancing things. And then there was one day when I came out of theater, and I looked at my kids were there, my two brothers were there, and my elder sister, and I looked around and I saw that their faces, and something in me snapped, and I said, this is enough. This is not a life. I don't think this is what I'm called to be, to hate my family like this,
Yeah.
and especially the young ones. And my grandmother passed away in the process as well. So I felt so lost and so alone, because at that time, my sister was more closer to my mom. I call her deputy mom even today. But now our relationship is in a better space, She's my go-to person. And by the way, she's the one that
Oh,
was
the one
here
who was
with
here
me.
with the
Yes,
baby.
yes, that's my elder sister.
Okay.
So she has been there through it all. She has seen me, ke tswa diteta, ke phumodiwa, kore she has seen it all. Even when I finally accepted, you see, when a lot is happening, you pick which battle to fight.
Yeah.
So I had to fight the battle of cancer. I had to fight the battle of depression and bipolar and everything. And that was after then the battle of HIV. It only comes to play now that, okay, let me focus on this one. I'm now, I cannot die. If I die and leave my kids, they're going to have a step mother, a step parent. I don't want that for my children. I want to be here. I want to raise my kids. And that was my turnaround. And I went to God and say, whatever it is, the lesson that I need to learn through this whole thing, I think I get it. It's okay. Can now I be healthy and live my life? Yeah.
Sure. That's a lot. It's a lot. Because I'm thinking, when you are fighting all these battles, the cancer, the depression, the bipolar,
The divorce.
and then now there's this one that needs you to face it heads on, because this is you're gonna be working with this one for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
And for you to be able to successfully do it for 25 years, even after the 7 years, of course, it's by the grace of God.
Amen.
It's by the grace of God. So after the divorce, because I know with my own situation that sometimes people wait for you to be like this, this fresh and beautiful. And then all of a sudden they made a mistake. They see something in you they want to reconcile. When now this person is looking at you being like this, what does he say?
Nothing. We just talk. For the funny thing is that immediately after the divorce, he remarried. He remarried, went on with his life, and life went on. And I think when my last born was doing grade 12, he got gravely sick, and he wanted to see the kids. He apologized to them for everything, and they must tell me. I couldn't go to visit him in hospital because he has a wife, and I
Okay.
cannot interfere. But my mother would go and see him, and would go to I would still go to his parents' house because my kids are there, and I would go, and I would see him when I'm there, and we would talk, and I told him, I forgive you. Not for you, but for myself, for me to be able to. I cannot hate you. Whatever part I played in our marriage failing, I take full responsibility and ownership of it, but I'm not mad at you at all, at all, at all. It is a journey that I had to go through. And we are good. We are like brother and sister now. We talk whenever we need to talk.
Yeah.
But my kids are old. I have a grandson. I have a makoti. So my kids are old.
Yeah.
And my last born is now in DRC. He's in the SANDF. So
Sure.
I'm good.
You know, I'm actually laughing because that is so true when it comes to when you get divorced and you've made peace, you actually become siblings. You know, you even do each other favors from time to time, say, hey, I'm shorting so much and stuff. So that's just how life is. But I want to know the minute you now come out, after you come out of the hospital, I want to understand your journey from there up until now when it comes to the community and just day-to-day things that you have to deal with, because you know we are living in the times of TikToks where we always see people sharing their stories on how there is a time where you get tired of even taking the pills on a daily basis, where you are just so tired. And there are times where you are being judged, you are being called, you are being stigmatized. How did you, obviously from before the 7 years, because you were in denial, maybe not a lot of people knew what was going on with you, or maybe rumors here and there. But from the moment you openly said, this is what I have to live with for the rest of my life, how was that received?
I have this thing that I, I I do not care who rejects me as long as my family accepts me for who I am and for what I am. Anybody can go jump into the river. I do not care.
Yeah.
My family is my everything. So it would have hurt me more if they reject me. But if anybody else, I don't even I I think the other thing that helps me is that I close my ears to negativity. If you you are seeking attention, you are just saying this, how you can't be this fresh and be positive. I say, ha, kanti ba jwang batho ba bang positive.
Yeah.
Long time ago, yes, they used to hlothoka meriri ba etsang, but times have moved, guys. So I don't conform to negativity. I do not. Even on my TikTok, on my Facebook, you come there and you say negative things. I read the comment, block and delete you. Next. And that's just me. I I don't.
No, that is.
So the other things that also at my workplace, I'm in the retirement fund industry, and I deal with death claims mostly, and it's mostly the kids that their parents passed away, and we administer their trust funds. So we go a lot around having road shows, talking to, and you find that a lot of women that become positive. The husband worked at the mine, came back homesick, knowing fully well what was wrong with him, but you still sleep with this man, do whatever, and now the man dies, you are positive, you are left with the kids. So I found myself, whether I disclosed or not, I am in that space where people will just come and I'll be busy sitting with you, okay, explaining to you what is the process, what you need to do with the funds for the kids and whatnot, and the person will say, but you know I'm positive. I'm going to die and leave my kids, and I'll be like, says who? So the issue of HIV kept coming up, and that's when then I decided, okay, let me do the counseling, proper study, be a professional counselor, not counsel from experience, but professionally. So then I registered with UNISA, the company paid for me, and I did the course. So I think also my work helps me a lot, that to see, when you talk to people, you give them that hope that there is life. You ignore the negative, whatever around you. Do you chase your dreams? Do things that you still wanted to do. I never imagined myself graduating for anything because, as I told you earlier, that I was doing public relations and they beat me into a pulp, and then after that, the passion of studying just died. I'm not gonna do that anymore. So I did the counseling course, and then from there we have been going on.
Sure. Do you think there's ever a time where when you do your counseling with somebody, you feel like this was more for me than it was for that person?
Yes.
Have you ever had an encounter like that?
Yes, a lot of times. A lot of times. A lot of times. Because then you also realize how fortunate one is to have the support system. You know, where I think the biggest thing is support. The support that you have, whether it's from friends, from family, or from wherever, it's the biggest thing. If you don't have any form of support, you also don't have any motivation. You have nothing. So I always say to people, you need to find motivation on why do I need to take this pill every day? If it's whether it be it your kids, be it your parents, be it your work, be it your garden. Sorry, and if you have follow, be it your animals, find something, and that is something that is in everyone. We are here for a purpose, and the day that you find that purpose is the day that you start living.
Actually, you just reminded me, because earlier on I had asked Hore, when you are tired of taking the pills, because I saw there's a lady, she's really like a strong activist there on TikTok. She would be, educating people like openly about HIV. But there was a time where she was crying. And she was like, guys, I am tired.
Yeah. You do get tired. They make you tired. The thought of taking that pill every day for the rest of your life. But as I say, when you have the support system, even my 10-year-old niece, school holidays, she's my nurse. 9 o'clock, auntie, your pill. Brings the pill with the water, and that's it. So for me, the support that I have keeps me going. Yeah.
So I think the one thing that I'm actually learning from this, it's important to let some people in, because when you are on your own, the motivation also becomes very, very small, because how are you going to be motivated by yourself when you are tired? You need other people to motivate you. How are they going to motivate you when they don't know what you're going through?
Yes.
So it's good to also share with other people.
To share with other people, to have those people. Yes, the very same people that you trust, that you think are your support system, can some days be the people that stabs you in the back. I say this because my mother is a health freak. She's an ex-nurse and whatever, but she is now on healthy living lifestyle. Bona, she is a health freak, and for the longest time, that is one person that I know that has been in denial. She still is, but asikho lapho. I know, sometimes, and when if I'm sick, I think my parents, because both my mom and dad, my dad is here with me today, they're still alive, and I think my sister says I'm their princess, so that's why they get. It's like I'm not supposed to get sick. When I'm sick, it's like they can be sick on my behalf. Yeah.
Your dad that is here, is it your biological father?
My biological father.
Okay.
Yes.
I think the issue of forgiveness.
Yes.
I know my people are going to be saying, hey, you're all over the place, my sister, what? Please forgive me. The issue of forgiveness, ma'am, it's deep.
Very.
And it's one thing that people take very lightly, Because when I'm looking at your situation, I think when it comes to you taking out accountability for your part, your contribution towards how the marriage maybe didn't work out or stuff like that, it's when you have to take it all the way back to say,
Yes.
what are the things that I came in with
With.
which are wrong, even
Yes.
from the beginning?
Yes.
So based on the story that you are sharing with us, clearly the foundation was even wrong from the
From
beginning.
the beginning.
You know, because you are saying that you were actually running away from a situation. But now, after you have run away from the situation, things didn't work out here, you almost even lost your life. When you now have to rebuild, do you go back and confront the thing that you were running away from and sort things out and deal with such issues, or do you just leave it like that?
You cannot heal until you go to the source.
Okay.
You have to go back and dig, because other things will be repeating themselves. You'll be repeating the cycle, because you are still not completely healed. You are still completely not forgiven yourself as well. So you have to go to the source, because I had a conversation with my mother. I sat her down because my stepfather passed away, but he passed away, we had made peace.
Okay.
We had made peace, we were in a good place, and
Okay.
we were good. And I had to go back to my mother and to tell her, you know, that for the longest time I hated you because I felt you failed to protect us. I felt you didn't believe when we were telling you this is what was happening. You even protected the person. On top of that, you even had kids
Sure.
with him. So, for my brother's sake, I need to be okay, because they know nothing. They know nothing, and I need to love my brothers the right way. Not half, and not when I look at them and say, ish, they become a constant reminder. No, I needed. So we sat, and I told her how I felt, and she sincerely apologized, and for their part that she also had played, that of failing to protect us, of failing to believe us, of, and we are in a good space now. And the one thing I think, because my father has always been, he has been in the picture and a present father in my life and my sister's life. It's not like we lacked fatherly love. It was there. We had it. But because they were not together with my mother, we didn't know how that looks like. You understand?
Yeah.
So, and with my kids as well, I had to go back to them and sit them down and say, forgive me. Yes, I chose your father to father you, to do this thing with.
Yeah.
And because I had said to myself, the day I have kids, I only want bananas.
Okay.
I don't want banana, apple, peach, lemon. No, 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 no. I
Oh.
want bananas, because I know how it feels like to have banana, apple, and I don't want that for you. So forgive me for that. I brought you in this messed up situation of my own life, and here you are having to witness ugly things, and you don't deserve such. You deserve both parents that love you, that care for you, that support your dreams. That you don't deserve me and your dad.
Phew.
Yeah.
And what were they able to say to you?
My firstborn son, his reaction was like, thank you, Mama. Now I know your side of the story. I grew up hearing the one side of the story,
Oh, because they grew up on the father's side. Yeah.
But when I come to you, I would see something different. So I was really confused. So thank you that you came and you cleared the air. Yeah.
Sure. So it's very important that at some point you need to sit down with your kids and tell
Yes,
them
you
the
do.
reality of
The reality. Because I even invited their father to the conversation and said we owe our kids an apology and we owe them an explanation, and they must hear it from both of us. Not me telling them and you telling them. We'll be here. They must be asking what they wanted to ask, and we need to clarify it here.
yeah.
And he didn't show up.
It didn't show up. You know, I had a similar situation. I'm just saying this because I see we have plenty of time. I had a similar experience where the guy that I was married to didn't want to sit down with the child. Like we had a child that he brought in the marriage from his previous relationship. So when the marriage comes to an end and we have to go our separate ways, I was like, okay, the small ones, these two who are mine, I can deal with them because they're still young. I still have my entire life to deal with them. But the older one, which is his child, that eventually he needs to take back. I don't know whether take and keep with him or take her somewhere else. But we need to sit down and explain to her because she's in high school already. It didn't show up.
Yeah, they don't.
The burden was on me to now explain to this child what actually happened. And also at the same time, the difficulty is you don't want to end up making the other person look bad.
Exactly. Even, you see, also in my marriage, there was a child that was born between my son, my two sons. There's a girl that was born in between. And at a point, I had to take her in. We are separated we long time divorced with this man, but I had to take the child and I stayed with her, loved her the best way that I could. I knew how. And it was like, why are you doing that? And because my sons came to me and said, you are busy helping other kids and our sister is there, the one and the sister that you told us about. So please take her and stay with her because you are also staying alone. So, okay, if that's what you want, I will do it for you.
And you took her and you stayed with her.
Yeah.
Hey, our women are strong.
I stayed with her and until she came of age and she's now on her own.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about now what is happening currently because your sister, they made sure that she reminded us, don't forget to tell them you are graduating yesterday.
Yes.
Tell us about that journey. How has that been like?
At some point you have to after finding your passion, your purpose and everything, you need to act on it as well. And I wanted something to show for it. Finding this purpose, being in this journey, because at times you don't understand why all those things are happening and coming to me. Why do I have to go? But then again, my question becomes, why not you? If not you, who should do that for you?
Yeah.
Nobody. So I do a lot of mentoring as well. So I decided, let me decorate it with a qualification in Yana there. So I enrolled for life coaching and employee wellness. And yesterday, it was a 3-year course, but I did it in a year. I was done.
How possible is that?
It's possible because I had a lot of time on my hands. It was just it's me, myself, and I in the house, nobody else. So I have a lot of time.
So you mean to tell me that because you were demotivated by the banana apple and what, you still don't want to go down the aisle?
My friend, I did go down the aisle, but it lasted 6 months.
You know the way. It's the way you keep a straight face when you tell this shocking news. Wait, I want you to tell me about that. But there's this thing that we believe, especially us who come back from war and we are returning from war. We are like, the first time I was wrong, I did 1, 2, 3. I know my mistake. I lay them down. We even get together with a guy who's also failed. We're like, this time around, we are sure we will do it. So how did you happen to only last 6 months when you are trying for the second time?
6 months. It, I, peer pressure. Even when we are an adult, that for me. It was peer pressure, and I saw the signs, and I was telling my mother and sister, this guy is not to make sure, guys. Why is such rush? Where is he rushing to? Why? No, I still need to study. Hey, when I'm independent, hey, when I'm Bokoto, hey, when I'm self-sufficient, hey, I say, but did I complain that I'm alone or lonely? I didn't. So why are you worried on my behalf? No, but this guy wants to get married and settle down. I say, what's the rush? We just met 3 months down the line. You want to get married. Why? He sent people. Bona, he did the right things, came and negotiated. And I was like, no, man.
So the whole time you are not feeling it, but if they're going ahead with it.
I am not feeling it. But from the onset, I was not feeling it at all. I was not. I really wanted to let my guard down and let somebody
Take care of you.
take care of me. But I was not feeling it. I was not feeling this guy, and I was like,
Something is off.
Something is off. But I went ahead. Asmus. Say, okay, let me stop being finicky. Let me give it a chance. 6 months, I said, peace out. I'm out.
What was the last kick for you where you were like, I?
The last kick was when I found myself sitting outside with a gun and a bottle of Black Label and a tomahawk.
Eh?
That was my last kick.
Wait. How did we get able? And then every time for me, it's how she explains it. How did you get there?
No, he was working in the mine. He was a mine worker. I was in Joburg. I stay in Benoni. I was staying in a flat in Benoni, and so the agreement was his weekend off, he comes this side. Any other weekend, I go. Friday, knock off, Stelfontein too. We had a house, we got a house at the mine, those complex houses, and I would go. But the first weekend I went, now it's after the marriage. We've signed, I'm Mrs. now. I got home, your things. If there's one thing about me, I'm very organized and particular about my things. See, this wedding presents, who opened them? Because I haven't opened them. These are my wedding presents. Hey, we were looking for a frying pan. You and who? So there's I don't know, it's a child that my mother took as well in, and she stayed with us, and for the longest time she stayed with me in the flat. And then there was an opening, a post that came. She did hospitality, so she went to the interview in Stelfontein. So she had to sleep at my house.
Okay.
You don't think anything. It's a child. It's and because of my past, I don't like thinking every
Man is
man
like
is
that.
that.
Yeah.
So she went, she stayed, and she was like, no, the interview, it's when. It kept postponing. Please, when you come weekend, bring that suit for me because I want to wear that. I'm not making anything out of it. 2 weeks passes. She's still there, hibo. Then the guy gets sick. She had an abscess. I get there. I want to clean the abscess. He says my hands are hard. My hands are.
When are your hands?
Yeah, my hands are hard.
Okay.
But this girl's hands are soft. Okay. Leave it. Come back the other time. He bought a shawl and a towel for this girl. Why? No, it's a thank you gift because she took care of me when I was sick. Okay. All right. Down the line, Haibo, you come home, your person is not excited to see you. How? Njani? The whole week I was not here. How did you get by? You are not happy to see me. Okay. Then a neighbor says to me, something fishy is going on here. I said, I have seen it, but I was not sure. And I didn't know how to even confront it. She says, yeah, I'm confirming it to you now. My child,
When you are not here.
you are a good person. You are so, we went, and then I said, okay, I got the information I wanted. I'm setting a trap. So I do drink alcohol, but I'm not a heavy drinker. So this girl knew me so much that if I take something that I'm not used to, I'll quickly go to sleep. Yeah. So this day that I decided, today, not today, I prayed and fasted for the whole week, and said, God, we ending this weekend because I cannot do this. I'm not a toy and I'm not a fool. That I know. Got home, bought 6-pack, Hunter's Dry. Got home, we sat. 6 o'clock, the man stands up. There was still Rhythm City playing. After Rhythm City, he goes to the bedroom, he's going to sleep. Okay. After Generations, girl goes to her room, she's going to sleep. What they were not aware was that I've since opened one bottle. And it's not even moving that much because I had a mission. I kept going fetch bottles and put them there. But went to sleep. I went to bed at 10. Got into bed. Try touching and being thrown off. Okay. And then I pretend to be snoring. Like literally snoring. And he wakes up. I can hear him wake up, go to the bathroom, come out of the bedroom, goes to the girl's room. Into the bedroom, I woke up, wore my track pants, opened the safe, took out my gun, took out the bottle, took out the tomahawk panga, And when I opened that door, the service was heavy, man. And I pulled the trigger, shot the ceiling, and it fell on them. I locked them in the room. Called my family and his family and said, I'm done, I'm out. I told you this is not happening. And you said to me, I remember my sister was like, hey, when was so good as a man? There's no such, that child is so innocent. She even took the child for the virginity test, and it was said, no, she's still a virgin. I say, what a virgin. Wow. Say your virgin is sleeping with my husband, guys. So I am out. I'm done. Packed my things and I left.
My sister.
Yeah, that is in 2009. We met. Yeah, 2009, 2010, I left.
Hey. Just like that.
Just like that. How? There are no strings attached, I guess. And you came to me, you knew I'm HIV positive. You knew I'm not going to give you kids at any stage. And then when he was asked why he was doing that, hey, there were funny reasons, guys, but there were three. One was that I want to make him sick because I don't want to condomize. Two was that I have kids that he didn't know. And three was that he doesn't know how much I earn. And I loved his family. Oh, that family, God bless their souls. They said, hey, such lies. The brother stood up, went into our bedroom, brought out a file. I had a file with my pay slips, my bank statements, his pay slips, no bank statement. He bought that file, brought it to the table, says, what is this? Were you not the one who were even bragging to us that my wife earns more than me and she doesn't have a problem with what I earn? So what are you talking about? The kids, the day that you came to introduce this girl to us, you were coming from the Free State. Her brother was driving the car. You came with all the kids to my house as your brother to come and show me this woman that you want to get married to with her kids. Even her adopted kids, they were there. It was a whole entourage. So what are you talking about? Were you not the one who said, even if she's sick, I'm marrying her like that? Were you not? We heard from you. So what are you on about?
So Mara, when you look at this whole thing, why then did he want to marry you in such a rush then if this is how he's going to?
Citizenship. He was from Lesotho. It was, I think, citizenship, and he got too much information about me wherever he got it, that if I get hurt, I get sick, I get hospitalized, I go drink. So
Maybe you will die, you'll make money out of you.
I will die and he will make money out of me. Continue, I'm delivered.
You're not doing that anymore.
No, I got deliverance from that. I spoke to God and I told him, I'm done getting sick. I don't want to go to hospital anymore. I am done. My body is done with that. Yeah.
Sure.
Because why I say citizenship, 10 years later, I divorced him in his absence. And 10 years later, I get a call from Home Affairs. Do you know so and so? Say, who's that? No, he applied for citizenship and you are the wife.
Hey.
And here's the marriage certificate. I say, Home Affairs, check your records and check the date there. I am divorced. Me, I am not married. The last time I checked, I divorced that man in 2018 in May. And it's 2021 and you're telling me about citizenship. Like,
Oh, he's been waiting for the right time for him to eventually apply for the citizenship.
yeah, because he kept the
The
original marriage certificate. Doesn't know that you can go and print another one.
Hi, scam. It's a scam. This one is a scam, a big one.
And because he gave me the runaround every time when he heard that I'm filed for divorce, he would resign from the man, take the money, and
Or because he didn't want to share the money with you.
as if I wanted his money.
Oh, hi, my sister. You know what? I don't know whether I'm encouraged or not. I don't
But
know.
I still believe in love. Believe you me, I'm a sucker for love. But I don't fall for anything, and I will not settle for anything. HIV is just a status. It's just a disease like any other, and I am not going to be robbed because of that. I am enough. I'm a full package, man. Yeah, and now we travel the world, we see things, we grow, we build legacies, we are on about that. So if you come to me, you must be correct.
Must get your story right.
Correct. Yeah.
Yo, I love it for you. Aisha, no, we are almost at the end of our session. I just want you to tell the people out there, Ori, where can they get you? Because obviously, if you're doing some counseling work, I do believe that I know my community, they're going to come forward and want to know more information, because I feel like an hour obviously is not enough for us to share. But there's going to be those that want to reach out to you so that you can maybe help them walk through this journey and all the other services that you are busy with.
Okay. We are Youth Matters. It's Youth Matters NPC 2023 on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, all our socials, or you can check Coach Mpuseng.
Okay.
Yes.
What is your message to the youth that actually matters? Because you are saying the name of the page is
Youth Matters. The future is today.
Okay.
That is the message. The future is today. Use the opportunities that you have, that are presented to you. Even create your own. You have it in you. You have it. Social media, I always say to them, social media can make or break you. So use it wisely.
Thank you so much, guys. You heard it for yourself. Use social media wisely, because it can either make you or break you. I think for today, I've learned a lot, honestly speaking. I've learned a lot, and I do believe that the diversity, the way that we are so diversified, almost every episode, there's something that you can learn from. And I love the fact that we are broadening up so much that you can actually go to our previous episodes and check out, okay, if I want help on this one, maybe I can contact this person, then I can get more information on that. And the more we interview more people with different stories, the more we broaden that platform to say, listen, whatever it is that you need help with, you can definitely come out here and you can get help from our platforms. A big shout out, in closing, to Send Studios, our home. A big shout out to E2 Hair Studio for doing my hair. Big shout out to Crown Lioness for my dress. A big shout out to Hydro Quench for the water. Oh, I always forget shouting out the one who did my makeup. I always forget her. I don't take her seriously. A big shout out to myself for drawing my own face. Okay, for more information, visit our website, www.madamspeaker.co.za. I'll see you on the flip side. God bless you. Mwah.